jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya avir maiti rudro jatte dakshinam mukham te namang pahi nityam te namang pahi nityam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. And evermore shine in our hearts with your resplendent face. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are revising the 5th chapter of the Shanti Gita, and we are reading that how the man of spiritual experience or illumination moves around in the world, how he sits, how he eats, how he behaves, all those. So, mainly, we have heard that there is nothing that is the injunction or compulsory for a man of wisdom to follow, because there is nothing as such duty for them, and that nothing as that non-duty. They live around free soul. That is the major point. We have our injunctions and prohibitions, no? We should do this, should not do this, this is not good, this is not spiritual, this is worldly. So whatever we have all who are under the spell of ignorance. But those who are beyond that, so they have no such restrictions or anything. So they live like a person, like an actor, takes various forms, putting in different apparel. So yogis always engage, sometimes beggar-like behavior, sometimes they behave magnificently like a king, and some being are engaged, desirous of engaged in some fun and joy of life. Someone is endowed with tremendous detachment and renunciation. Someone wears a gorgeous dress. Someone is covered with a torn, tattered cloth. Someone without any clothing even, the waistband and girdle. So you cannot put them into any category. The king Janaka. Janaka was the king. He has kingly pleasure. He sits in his throne. He rules the country. But he's a Brahmajani. It does not matter. Or there may be another Brahmajani who is walking in the street having nothing in his possession, with a tattered cloth, a dirty body, dirty hair. So they don't fall under the category of many norms and regulations. Sometimes you find that they anoint their body with perfume. Sometimes they smear their body with ashes. There is nothing but the ashes in the Himalayas, no? Sometimes some enjoy roaming around the young women, chewing condiments wrapped in bitter leaves, chewing, like a luxurious expression of their enjoying life, no? So sometimes it happens, sometimes that, sometimes this. Look back, then you will understand why. So that is the way that they are free soul. Main thing, they are not entangled with any rules and regulations, and that cannot never. So, so some appear like an insane, like a crazy person moving around in the street, or some behaves like a ghoul in a forest. Some may be very silent, may not speak a word. Someone else may be an orator, prolific orator, can charm people. He's a Brahmajani. But you cannot say, oh, he's orator, he's egotistic, or he is not walking. They cannot be put into any category of ours. So we read up to this verse that some yogi speaks loving words, and is very well behaved, very soft, very sweet. Some maybe is bereft of those mannerisms. Some maybe in household life, some maybe in monastic and forest dwelling life. No, maybe in the brahmachari state, maybe in the garhastha state, maybe in sannyasa state, or in the vanaprastha state. No? So some are dull, whereas others may be very intelligent, apparently. No college education. Like that, if you appear, see that many wandering monks, they have no proper school education or anything. They didn't go to school or anything. So if you talk to them, you will find that, oh, they are dull people or uneducated people. But you cannot, these things don't bother with the knowledge of the self. Knowledge of the self is above all. So that much we read. That though these various ways, these various ways, the knower of truth move about in the world. Uh, this is imperceptible yogi, devoid of delusion, roam around by taking apparent identities upon themselves. That means whatever identity they take, it matters little. It is not harm. Yes.
So I'm confused when you say they might be dull. Does that mean that they're just quiet and
Dull
keep to
means,
themselves, or do you mean they're like dumb and they don't know anything?
yeah, dull appearance. Appearance. You may put some question, they may, you put some scientific question, if you a scientific approach, they may not know anything. And dull is treated as if he's not responding properly, a little mane, brain is not working like that type. But this is the physical. Their body's action, body's reaction, and the body is functioning due to prarabdha, the past momentum. So one was a king. Even if he becomes a monk, his behavior will be kingly. Understand? Someone is a very highly erudite scholar, yeah? He's born with the tendency of erudition. When he will speak, he will talk, you see that erudition is coming out of him. But the inner knowledge is a different thing. Expression happens because of the our tendencies in which we are born. This body, mind is set in a motion in a particular way. That's why among the monastics, the external behavior is so different. But don't judge by that. What is the internal attitude, internal experience? That is the major point.
And that we can't actually know. We can't actually know how their inner thing, right?
No, you cannot know unless you are developed. But you can know also. That I will tell you. You can know a holy man or a spiritually illumined person. How? If you go close to that person, you live with him, you will feel that your mind is uplifted. He may be behaving in whatever way he is doing apparently, but in his presence or in his proximity, you find that you are feeling some type of peace, some types of not visible but a transformational thing internally. You may not know after leaving that place you met that holy man. You didn't know, but you find that your mind will be reminding, oh, that was a good moment. That was a very uplifting moment. That was a very precious moment in my life. Because they have their radiating their own what do you call samskaras or spiritual vibrations. Yeah.
I practiced Zen Buddhism many years ago with a Zen master, and I found out years later that he got Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's years later. So I was wondering, in a case like that, I believe he was realized. In a case like that, does that realization?
It is not blocked.
It's not blocked.
It's not blocked. It is only cannot find the expression because of the machine not working.
Okay.
Suppose this transmission is stopped, they will have that nothing is going. Somewhere broken, but the voice may be here, but the transmission is the machine, and the body is the machine, brain is the machine, and nervous system is the machine. Anywhere, any twist and turn, broken, that expression is not coming.
But the
Alzheimer has nothing to do with, say, or forgetfulness. Many old the people, or maybe forgetting the things of the recent happening. It is happens. It's a physical thing. But that has got nothing with the experience you have or the illumination inside you. Okay, so now we read the verse number 21 today. Nana bhavena veshena charanti gata samshayaha na jnayate tutan drishtva kinchit chinna chinnancha bhajataha. Now, nana bhavena, in diverse manners, and besena, by diverse dresses, they charanti, they roam around, being free from all doubt. In their mind, there is no doubt. They see God through and through. So that is the achievement of them. No, no jnayate tutam drishtva kinchit chinna vajyata. Seeing their external behavior, external dress and costume, or your oratory or non-oratory or silence or whatever you see, these external things, you cannot get anything to understand them. So the yogi is being totally free from doubts and hesitation. They wander around the different moods, in different moods, with diverse external appearances. They cannot be known even a little by observing their external characteristics. See, when Ramakrishna was mad in God consciousness, no? The whole people of the local people in where he was, Dakshineshwar, they used to say he's a crazy guy. Anyone coming to Dakshineshwar, you are going to that crazy Paramahamsa? Oh my God. He is totally getting, he is reckless. He behaves such a way, it is totally unacceptable. No? He does not care for anything. He does not behave like us as a normal man person. No? How can they do? They live in their own mood. They don't care for anything. But inner wisdom can be, there is dehat buddhi, their body identity being gone. Whatever the body does because of the past momentum, past samaskaras. No? A person who is scholarly, even he attains knowledge, the scholarly capability will not go away. Those expression will come, but with the wisdom it will appear. But if a person cannot have not read so much of, say, Ramana Maharshi, his expression is one type. And you go to Himalayas, there are many sadhus who have experience, but they cannot express that much. It depends on the how his body mind was set to run. Dehatma buddhito loke, 22nd. Dehatma buddhito loke bhajyo lakshana mikshate antarabhavo navai vedya bohir lakshanata kachit. Dehatma buddhito loko bhajyo lakshana mikshate. Ordinary people, due to body identity, see only the external signs. We are ordinary people, we see the external signs only. How he is expressing, how he is polite, how he is soft. We see the external and judge a person by that. That's why ordinary people, because they have their body identity, so as we seeing their bodily behavior, their connection with the body and expression to that, see only the external signs, we see and can judge a person. But certainly the internal spirit is never to be understood from the external signs. What is going on in your mind, it cannot be seen, expressed in your outside behavior. But though it has impact, but it cannot be properly understood. What you are thinking exactly, even the mind reader can be puzzled because we do not know what I am really thinking. Look at yourself. You are thinking of God. Think. Are you really thinking of God? See how many times you are thinking of all other things but God. So you cannot judge your mind. So how can you judge the other's mind in that way? So it is said, Dehatma Buddhi to Loka, those body, ordinary people who have Dehatma Buddhi, Deha, body is Atman. This is my everything. They only see, they Bhajya Lakshanam, they only judge others by their external appearance, external behavior. And many of our very serious senior Swamis, when they love you very much, they scold you very much. You don't understand. Hare, you have not done anything so minor. It becomes a big thing and you get scolding after scolding. Huh? And then you see that others are doing much more mistakes, but you're not telling anything. You really mean judge, you cannot judge. Then we understand. One day, one Swami was very much scolded and he was really so much upset. He said, oh, why I came here to get scolding like this? I'll leave this place. No. So when he ultimately was in that dilemma, then that Swami who scolded, he said that, do you know, I scold you why? I want you to be perfect. This is my love for you. I pay so much attention to you so that you become perfect. Huh? For your perfection, I am scolding you. I have no personal grudge for you. Uh, we do for our own personal grudge, anger, frustration, not following me, my direction, my way. We get annoyed. But real, genuine love is that they want our good. What will be our spiritual good, which what will bring us to spiritual illumination. So that was the thing, really. And I know both the Swamis, and then now, and then the mature days, this sadhu said that today no one is there to scold me anymore. Because that was the learning process. That was to teach. They are teaching something that you cannot do these mistakes. You know, in the Swami Prabhupada story is there. Say he was went and gave some print orders on some printing issues were going on, and the font was little. The font looks like that, but he came back with this font and he started scolding him. You did that. This is the attention you have, and this and that continued scolding. Huh? Later on, everyone understood it is not his fault, but Maharaj is taking away his bad karma by scolding and correcting. Your ego. The whole spiritual life is ego. Real, genuine spiritual personalities, they take away our responsibility, those who take up. And that's Swami told, I don't tell others, but I tell you because I see that there is a great potential energy in you which can flourish as a perfect person, a spiritual person. So that is the point. Sometimes do appear their behavior. You cannot judge by outside what is the intention behind. Intention is more important. And they have these Brahma Gyanis, they have no personal need or no intention. Only for the good of the world they roam around. So their scolding, their love, their affection, whatever they do, that is for the good of us. So external science we cannot understand anything of them. 23rd verse. यो जानाति सजानाति नन्ने बादरता जनाः शास्त्रारण्ये भ्रमन्ति एते न तेषां निष्कृति कचित् यो जानाति स जानाति न अन्ये बादरता जनाः यो जानाति only one who has experience only knows. Who knows rightly? Who have your experience, no? That's what we call aparaksha anubhuti. Aparaksha means not through some other media, but direct. I see you. This is called aparaksha. A Vedantic term, I see Brahman. I am experiencing Brahman. That's called aparaksha. Not through the media. I understand Brahman is infinite, Brahman is. So long you are talking about Brahman infinite, Satchidananda, you are not experiencing that. You are separated. So when you understand that, that experience comes, then it's called the aparaksha. So only the one person who has experience only knows. So jo yanati sa janati. He who knows means who have experienced. Ramakrishna said, how is milk? Milk is like milk. Who can say what is milk? You can give a description of milk, or you can bring a milk before you also. That will not do. Have you drunk the milk and tasted it? Then you know what is milk. So this is the point. If you know, actually have experienced God or the self, then you really know. Otherwise, it is only talk, mere talk. It can be achieved. Now, no others who are simply engaged in intellectual debate can know it. No, intellectual debate means always it can clean your intellect, understanding. Understanding can be clean. The cobweb of understanding will be clean. You need to purify that. But that will not give you reason. That's why Shankara in another place says that you may read scriptures. You may have great capacity to explain the scriptures with beautiful flowery words and flowing like a stream. No? Sab bagboi khuri, your the sound is the way you express is excellent expression of the truth, no? Bagboi khuri. Shabda juri. You have vocabulary, beautiful vocabulary, application of the words, proper word, etc. Shabdajuri, Shastra Vyakhana Gaushanam. You are expert in explaining the scriptures. Shastra Vyakhya. Vyakhya means the explanation of the Shastra, the scriptures. Kaushalam, you know the art of expressing the scriptures very well. Shastra Vyakhana Gaushalam. Tadvad Bhuktaye. All these are what? For reason? Bhuktaye, for your enjoyment. You are a scholar, you understand scholarly enjoyment. I gave a wonderful talk. I understood the scripture, how I explained it. So there is a joy in it. That Shankaracharya says. That Tadvad Bhuktaye, it is for your enjoyment. As you enjoy ice cream, you enjoy intellectual ice cream. Tadvad Bhuktaye. But not to Muktaye. That will not give you liberation. Because that is bringing the pride, how big I am, how scholarly I am, how wonderfully I can explain, how I can argue with other groups of people and then smash their argument. No? How great scholar am I? No? That
Is
will
it
give
true
you.
for if I like to listen good lecture also? Oh,
Huh?
I listened that good lecture. I enjoyed that evening. That Swami speaks so well. I'm so happy.
That is also ego. That is also ego. But that is my better ego or good ego. I don't go to the class, I don't listen because I know everything. Rather than they say, okay, I know, but still he tells something, let me go and hear. This is better. And those who come and think that, oh, there is some material I can absorb in my life, they get the benefit. Enjoyment. Everything is enjoyment unless experience. Samadhi is the only thing, is no enjoyment through intellect, through your mind, through your senses. No. These are all enjoyment or fun of your. We, as I said, we enjoy gross things in gross manner. It is a fine way, intellectual gymnastic. It is intellectual gymnastic. So, simply engaged in intellectual debates, they do not know. Jasya matang tasya jasya navidyate. Jasya matang tasya matang. Mundak Upanishad Namandra course. This is Jasya matang tasya matang. Matang jasya navedasa. Jasya matang tasya matang. He who knows, he knows. Matangyasya, he says, I know. He does not know anything. So, because when you say I, then I is coming in between. I cannot know. But he said, I do not know anything. That person knows. That means real Brahmagyanis, they keep silent. Silence is the message of knowledge. So, Shastrananya bhavanti nateshan niskriti kvachit. These scholarly people, they in the aranya means the forest of the scriptures. Scriptures, so many scriptures. And they get into the deep forest. What happens? When you enter into the deep forest, you lose your track. You go to Mayavati, you will find. If you go there and just go into the walk, if you don't know, don't go. You will be entering into such place, you do not know what is the road to leading to where I came back. Because it is in between the trees, very narrow path to go. And you get confused and you get lost into it. So don't read too much scriptures. Shastra, it is like a forest of intellectualism. And the time goes away by that. Ramakrishna says, don't be the counting of the, don't go to count the leaves and plants and trees and this and the mango grove. Rather go and start eating to practice spirituality, to know God, to realize God. Again, these are language words. Know, go, realize, these are also words. But these are to be more on the practical side. So they wander with confusion in the vast forest of scriptural knowledge. And then when they get into it, there is no way for them to get out of it by any means. Why? Because your pride will stop you. Your pride, I know so much, so there will be no sincere earnestness to learn something for practice. So there is a risk in practicing this Vedanta practice of ultimate. One should be careful. These are the just alarming, alert. This is our scripture is alerting us that only the one who has experience. That means experience is the key point of spirituality. To understand that, we should read book, we should read scripture, and we should read Shankara's commentary, try to understand it, absorb it, so that it helps us to clear our path, which is not so suitable for spiritual journey, to make it clean. That's why it is needed, but not for projection of the ego or an expression of scholarly erudition. That there are many pundits, no? Pundits are there in every university. There are Vedanta teachers, professors, no? But only even they do not go to university or didn't learn all these intricacies of philosophy. But there are Brahmagiris, go wandering monks. Among them, we go to Himalaya. There we can find so many here and there. But true or genuine, who knows from outside? They only know. That's why it is saying that you know yourself. दुष्प्रापुतत्तं बहुसाधनेन लभ्यं परं जन्म शतेन चैव भाग्यं यदि स्यात् शुभसञ्चयेन पुण्येन च आचार्य कृपावशेन. This knowledge, this experience will not come ordinarily. So he says, dusprapo, it is very difficult to achieve this state of experience. Bahu sadhanena, it needs much spiritual practice. Bahu means much, sadhana, spiritual practice. It is only achievable by spiritual sadhana, not by intellectual jugglery, not by reading the scripture. Rather, you see, now we can understand. Nowadays, this because everyone wants to know about God and internet and everything is available. So it has created more confusion. When you read Buddhism, little bit of Buddhism, Kashmiri Shaivism, this, that, these are all different philosophies. But when we get at one place and could not coordinate with them, we get puzzled. What to do? What this? Shall I follow this? Shall I follow that? Shall I follow that? That creates a confusion. That's why sadhana, spiritual practice is necessary. Any time, but to spiritual practice. So dusprapatattam, this tattva, this realization, this experience of the truth is dusprapo. It is very difficult to have it. But Bahu sadhana, you need to do intense spiritual practice, tremendous spiritual practice. Labhyam param janmasatena chayu. You may try. Don't be impatient. It may take 100 lifetimes. That means it is so much ignorance has gathered over our mind. So it may take long time. Don't worry about that. But you go on doing your sadhana. Supreme truth is hard to attain. It can be achieved only by extensive spiritual practices in hundreds of lifetimes. Huh? Bhaggam jadisya, but you have a good fortune, good luck. Shubha sanchayana, you have good karma of the past. Then cha punyena, by that great boon or blessings, acharya kripa avasana, you can get a guru's grace and you can get free from these problems. So to get a spiritual ideal guru teacher is really a very good fortune to get it. Because who is ideal guru? Who has realized God or is pure in character, who, as the scripture has said all the time. Otherwise, use own effort, it will be difficult because we do not know what path to follow and what direction to go. Therefore, if you get it, you know that Mahapunna, you have great good karma of the past, good benefit of the past. The supreme truth is hard to attain. It can be achieved only by extensive spiritual practices in the hundreds of lifetimes. And that too, that means spiritual practice. You will not be inclined to spiritual practice. Huh? Suppose our every day goes on, how much we feel that I have missed meditation, I have not done enough meditation, I want to do it more. This urge, why does it not come? Because our past karma is not good. If the past karma, unselfish work, samadama, etc., all the qualifications to earn, if one has done, then mind, pure mind, will force him for these spiritual practices. So therefore, that too is possible. That too means this extensive spiritual practice. Why can we not do extensive spiritual practice? Yes, our duties are there, responsibilities are there. Forget that. Suppose you have no duty, no. There is one story that one Swami, he joined the balloon mount and really he was given too many workload. So he went and complained to our general secretary. It's an old story. And he said, Swami, I don't get any time. So much work. When shall I meditate? So please do something for me. Okay. Then the general secretary must said, okay, you are totally burdened by work. You know? Okay, from now, all your responsibilities are off. Okay. Now you want to meditate, no? Okay. Go to the monks' quarters. We have a monks' quarters. You will read that one room will be allotted to you, and you do what your sadhana day and night. You need not have to come to the gathering for your food. Your food will be supplied in your room. Your breakfast and everything will be given. You do your sadhana, no one disturb you, and no one will even come near you. Okay? And he said, "Bah, I was so busy, I could not do anything now. Now it's a good chance, no? Okay." So he studied, he thought that he will study the Vedanta and this. But your mind body is not ready for sadhana. So one day, what do you do in a room is locked? Suppose if in your room it is locked, you get food, number of books, writing, music, whatever, all these things are given to you. You remain in one room and do sadhana. How much? After some one day, he is happy. Second day, a little desire to meet somebody, to talk to somebody, to do. It's a human nature, no? You have to prepare that tendency for God and love for God. It takes time. So, and then after 3, 4 days, 5 days, he came back and begged for work. Work, work is better because you are doing for God. In the name of meditation, you are sleeping and you're making your brain taxed. Unless you are backed up by your spiritual practice, selfless work, purity of the heart, no? As the mind becomes pure, it will go for God, then undoubtedly it will go. But if it is not prepared, and then you are given to stay like that, then it will be just a detrimental way of spending time and it's a loss. So we are not capable. That's why it is said that it is possible only if there is good luck. That really comes from how accumulated virtues and meritorious deeds. Okay, selfless work, do charity, do good to others. If these are not done before, one cannot be a yogi. Maybe in this life, maybe in the other life. Some people may be born with some tendencies. You will find that there are tendencies. Someone is born with a tendency to help others, to sacrifice for others. Someone will be just opposite. So those who have done that, they are capable of following the path of intense spiritual practice.
I have heard that Swami Ramanathanandaji at his later age, because all his life he was so hard worker, and like when he was a president Maharaj, all the time he was giving lecture everywhere. So the doctor said that for a couple of months, complete rest to his throat, no more talking or nothing. So he would go to some center, I think in the Himalayas, and then not meeting anyone. Just the food will come to his room, he and Bhagavatam inside the room. So just keeping Monam and reading scripture. So, but he didn't have any problem and like that.
He is a Brahmagani person, so that they don't fall any category as we have discussed. For them, no problem. Problem for us. Why our mind is not, and he can, you give a book and he does not need anything. And they don't read like us. They read one verse and they can just contemplate on that, and that will take away their time. So that this is the result of purified mind. But we have to make that mind pure by selfless work, by sacrifice, by serving others, and doing all this Jnana, Karma, Yoga, Bhakti, we say no. All these preparations are necessary. Then mind will be attracted to bhakti, even bhakti. The bhaktas always, the devotees always try to see God, try to serve God, try to meditate upon God. It becomes spontaneous. Intensity comes only on the ground of purification. So it is because good luck that verily comes from the accumulated virtues and meritorious deeds, and also by the grace of the spiritual teacher. So, so that means it is very much, we have to be very aware that what we are seeking for in our spiritual life can be achieved only by intense practice. Intense practice, not necessarily you can sit for meditation whole day. We have a wrong concept that I love God, I will have to meditate. No, you have to get connected with God in every movement of life. Whatever you are doing, you have to bring God into awareness. That's the Karma Yoga ideal. And that's also bhakti. I'm working for the Lord. I'm the servant of God. That's a bhakti sadhana. Uh, Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, vichara also. What is this universe? It is only Satchidananda is the reality. All these are body-mind reaction. So I should not get involved into it. No? Whatever you do, that means to renunciation, renunciation, renunciation. Detachment, detachment, detachment. And that purifies the mind, and that mind will help us to move towards the sadhana practice, and that practice will automatically purify. Hmm? So, three things have been mentioned here, that it should be good luck that comes from the accumulated virtues and meritorious deeds, and also your own intention, plus third is the teacher's grace, grace of the teacher. Now, this solution is given in the next verse, very sweet expression there, as if Ramakrishna principle, as we say, uh, the combination of the four yogas, no? The monogram of our Ramakrishna mission you have seen, the snake, round, hood unfurled, then wavy water of the ocean, then there is a swan, there is a lotus, uh, and the sun rising. That's symbolizing the whole idea of spiritual life. How this type of experience will come? There is a 25th verse. Yadi sarvam parityajyo mui bhakti parayana. Yadi sarvam parityajyo. If by giving up, renouncing everything, you mui bhakti parayana, you become devoted to me, the Lord. Sadhayate eko chittena. If you can make spiritual practice one pointedly, sadhanani punopuno, and that practice can be done punopuno, then vidhayo karma niskamam, performing selfless work, mat priti labhavanaso. Why will you do perform action? Only to gain my blessings. Or you are doing only to please me, to please God only. Those who can do Moi Kritva Arpanam, offering everything to me every day. Sarvam, whatever you did, good, bad, noble, or whatever, you give it to him. Then Sarvam Chutti Chitta Shuddhir Avapate. Doing, offering everything to God, then only come your purification of your heart. Chitta Shuddhi, perfect purification. So these two verses, 25 and 26, give us the synopsis. First of all, Sarvang Parityajya, if you give up everything. How will you give up everything? A Vedantic path, no? To analyze everything is unreal. What shall I do with those unreal things? I want to know, I want to get that which unchanging reality. So, and then Bhakti Parayana, that means practice. I don't want this, but what do you want then? I don't want, you cannot tell your mind, I don't want. You have to, that's a wrong step. Neti neti is not the only way. Neti neti ends in iti iti. Okay? What you chant about every time the morning prayer, manobuddhi, I am not the mind, not the etc. What do you say? Not this, but what do you say? Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivo. I am that consciousness, I am that absolute bliss, no? So neti neti, sarvam purityajya, give up everything. But give up everything, how can you stand there? You cannot stand in void. Moi bhakti parayana. You pour your love, your clingingness was there with so many objects of the world. Give up, give up, give up. How can I give up unless I get something? So you give up that and hold on me. Give up this and hold on me. That's the vichar path, the path of reasoning, the path of analysis. And bhakti parayana means love for God, second path. Eko chittani sadhayet, you have to then practice. Eko chitta means concentrated mind. That is the yoga path. What is spiritual practice in meditation? Meditation means what?
Focusing
Eh?
focusing the mind.
Focusing the mind. It is given the example the sun's rays are all scattered. But if you want to focus it in a lens, see, so rays are focused and comes to the focal point, and you keep a paper, it will burn. Why not this paper is not burned when it is without that lens? Mind should be put in such a way that it focuses into one. That means concentration in the path of concentration or path of Raja Yoga, the dhyana path. So three, jnana, bhakti, dhyana. And vidhaya karma niskam. 24 hours, what do you do? You have to do karma. We all do karma. But do it niskam. Think, how shall I do niskam? Na mat priti labho manusa. I am doing for to please my beloved Lord, not for my sake. I am doing for Him. And if one can just say I am doing for Lord, and then offer it, you have to offer it every day. Then that will bring chitta suddhi, the purification of the mind. Purification of the mind will happen when one can just offer everything to God and does every work for the pleasure or for pleasing the Lord. No? Every action done that way. So see how much sadhana. Sadhana does now we are talking in the Bhagavad class. What was sadhana? Sadhana was austerity. No? Physical austerity, someone is putting the hand up for 20 years, who is standing for 30 years, all the time, never slept, never sat down. The leg has become swollen like this big, and water is oozing from that. No? They think this is austerity. This is not austerity. This is the austerity. To practice 4 yogas every day. That you see how much austerity you have done today. And that will purify the chitta, mind. And mind when purified, the God will reveal spontaneously. So that is the very simple formula. See here it is given, and Swami Vivekananda gave this idea for the modern age. I shall give you dry, hard reasons. Vivekananda. I shall give you dry, hard reasons, softened in the sweetest syrup of love. Exactly. Jadi sarvam purityajya, I shall give you dry, hard reason. It is temporary. It is all unreal, no? It is appearance. Throw away. I don't like it. I don't need, not this. I shall give you dry, hard reasons. Soften in the sweetest syrup of love. Moi bhakti parayana. Pour your love. Do it for, dedicate to me. You love so many things. No. You turn back your love and focus on me. Give it to me. I love this person because God is in him. My beloved is there. Not for the person. Person will die. Person is born, person will die, person is going to change. So bhakti, and that's very sweet that I'm doing for Lord, doing for Lord. In every service I do from morning till now, consciously or unconsciously, oh Lord, I served you. It is for you. It is for you. It is for you. And we can make a conscious effort that every work we do, every moment we say, oh Lord, I did it for you. I give a glass of water, I did it for you. I clean I cooked it, I did it for you. I wash the plates, oh, it is for you, because you will enjoy this plate afterwards. No? So everything, everywhere. So we that first renouncing, detaching, unreal real, karma, jnanaja, dry hard reason, softened in the sweetest syrup of love, then niskamam karma, made spicy with intense karma. Karma is always spicy. Means it is something irritating, sometimes pungent, sometimes fighting, no? And when you put your spices in your cooking, how it sizzles. Sizzling, when sizzling comes, its karma is like that. So, intense karma. And then cooked in the kitchen of yoga. Now, meditate and focus and think of it. That is called the ideal. Cooked in the kitchen of yoga, so that even a baby can easily digest it. Spiritual baby can easily digest it. Otherwise, you cannot eat the food unless it is boiled well. You cannot put the food if it is not spices and nice things are given. So, to make a wonderful dish of spiritual life, we have to do all this four. So, jnana, karma, yoga, bhakti. So, these are the yadi sarvam parityajya mai bhakti parayanaha sadhayet ekachittan. If you can do spiritual practice in one focused way, then concentrated way, sadhanani again and again. Don't get tired. Today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. That's why spiritual life, there is no vacation in spiritual life. Every work, Sunday is there. If not Sunday, even people work 7 days, they will suffer at the end of a month, they will get some 1 day, 2 days. Long time you work, your office can give you 1 month leave, that's also possible. But in spiritual life, no leave. And what will you do with the leave? You don't want to get away from God. So you don't like the leave. Genuine. But those who have not developed love, they will say, oh, I am very happy today, I could sleep well instead of meditation. No. So that may be, that means mind has not been purified so much. So, sadhanani puno vidhaya karma niskama. Don't do karma, but do niskama karma. Doing that, and that niskama karma of clarifying, it is doing for my pleasure. And then not only my pleasure, and karma follow whatever comes, offer it to me, then you will attain chitta shuddhi, the purity of the heart. So, we end here today, 26, 526. Then we'll read again next time. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om Tat Sat, Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Tomorrow is whose class?
Gospel class.
My class?
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow there will be gospel class at 7:30 in the evening.
Maharaj,
Yeah.
when we were talking about this, and also last week in the Thursday class, we have the Karma Yoga class, and we also discussed a little bit of this. And my question is regarding the approach that you just said is the bhakti approach, where every action that we do, we offer it to God, and it said it is for you, and in that way we eventually come together. But my question is, we can also do that for many people who have some troubles believing in a personal God. There is this one aspect of the prakriti and the three gunas, and that all the work is done by the gunas and not by the
Same result. Same thing will happen. If you think that his body is functioning, gunas are working with the gunas, I am unattached. But that understanding will be solidified if this practice is done. You know, those are the path, age-old path. Jnana path is only jnana path. Bhakti path is bhakti path. Karma path is karma path. No, that's one. But this is a new age to revive. That's why Ramakrishna has come. He was Rama, he was Krishna. He came back to Ramakrishna. See, the old message hidden in the whole of Gita. You'll find this type of statement very few. This is the entire book is hidden somewhere. 25, 5th chapter, 25 and 26 verses. No. Yes, 25, 26. But now, other objects are given chapter. This is called Sankhya Yoga. Then you know Sankhya Yoga is a path. But reconcilement is everywhere. You know, if you advance in spiritual life, all other faculties will develop simultaneously. Because it is purification happening every level. In the body, in the mind, in the emotion, in the intellect. And all these layers are getting purified. That's why chitta. Chitta means body, mind, emotion, ego. All these factors, that's the chitta. The same effect will happen. So again, your question has been put in this way. Someone is asking, are you saying it is better for me to chant God's name for 1 hour instead of listening to spiritual talks? When you are listening to spiritual talk, you are doing Jnana Yoga. Nah? Analyzing and understanding. Yeah, that will also make your mind pure. But it is like little listening means duality is more. Someone is speaking, you are listening. Now you sit yourself and you are listening to yourself. That's more intimate. So it is much beneficial. But there is nothing wrong. Everything we do will purify our mind. Because, see, 1 hour we are talking about God, no? So look at that. What is the net effect? It is not giving you Brahma Jnana. We started our class 7:30, now it is 8:30. Nothing has happened, but something has happened. One thing has happened that this 1 hour, your mind is not dwelling on anything which was always engaged. So what you did, you have withdrawn unconsciously your mind from those choicest subjects, and now you are forced to think and hear about this God, the purity, karma yoga, jnana yoga, all this. No, so this is the benefit. It is making you chitta suddhi. That is the benefit. So that is useful, and to chant God's name. So you can do two together. You can listen to them and let the chanting of the God's name can go together. So it is not to compromise anything. That may also be done. Okay? Or, yes, if you can think of God along with everything. That is the suggestion. Another question, sometimes it happens with me that at times I love to do japa whole day. But again, sometimes I don't feel like doing. Why does it happen? Why does it happen? Because mind is not, it does mind, functionally mind. Mind is what, definition of mind is what? Mind is not steady. Steady mind is called buddhi. Mind means it fluctuates. It's a mood. Children, babies are children, they're moody. This time he likes this, and the next same thing you give tomorrow, he does not like it. So our mind is like that because mind was disturbed in so many objects. So it has its choice. Sometimes I like it, and the other times I don't like it. So what we have to do, we have to tame our mind. We have to talk to our mind and make mind friend. We have to make our own mind. Atmaivo Ripuratmana, Atmaivo hi Atmana Bandhu. This mind itself is my friend of mind, and mind itself is an enemy. Enemy when? When it does not allow me to think of God, that is the enemy. But mind is friendly also when your mind naturally goes for thinking of. So what we have to do, solution is that why does it happen? Because it is the nature of mind. It will happen. Someday it will be good, someday it may not be. Someday mind sets quickly, someday it does not. But we will have to continue doing our practice so that mind will be trained. You know, the wild, uh, wild elephant, wild elephant, if people can make control over it, why not the wild mind we can do? But it does not happen in a day. So we'll have to continue, and it will happen in time. One who knows, like one who has had milk knows. But can the self be known? Yeah. Self cannot be known in that sense, but self can be experienced. It's a language, no? Language has its limitation. When we are saying Atman is known is not like object. Like I know this table lamp. It is not knowing that because I am here, object is there, and there is an instrument through which I know, eyes and all the nervous system and the brain, etc. etc. All this combined together I know. But Brahman is not like that object. It is object subject. It is the mind itself. Everything is inclusive there. So you are right, we cannot say, but can the self be known? No. Self, you cannot know the self, but you are that. But what I understand is only objects arising in the consciousness can be known. You are correct. When nothing arises, that too is known. Nothing arises and you are aware of that. Blankness. You feel blankness, but you are not samadhi. Blankness feeling means you are seeing I know, I do not know. I do not, to express my knowledge, you need some consciousness. And when you say, I do not know, to express that, you need some consciousness. Consciousness is necessary for knowing and not knowing, both. So only realization will be when we cannot say anything. That's why again and again it comes, it cannot be expressed. When nothing arises, that too is known. Ego arising is also known. Yes, I am confused here. How to know self, which Brahmagyanis talk about. Brahmagyanis talk about, they come down from that experience. You see, they come down from that experience. When they are in samadhi, they cannot say that I see, I have experienced. I have experienced is post Ramakrishna going into samadhi, he cannot say anything. But when he comes down, then he talks about that. So that is the point. To talk about that, you need little I. That I is pure I. And that Gyanis, Brahma Gyanis have that pure I. When they come back, they can retain that knowledge, but they cannot express. Whatever language is limited. That's why the Yoga Vasishta said again and again, I referred that story, that the student, he went to a teacher and asking the teacher to talk about what is called Brahman. Please tell me. And the teacher remained silent for some time. And the student becomes restless. I wanted to know, I have come so far only to know about Brahman. Please tell me. And again he remained silent. And again silent. So after a long time, the student went too much impatient and said, you know, my child, I was teaching you what is Brahman. Like silence is his name. But you didn't understand that. That's why I am to talk about you. Brahman is Sat, Brahman is Chit, Brahman is Ananda. Is it Brahman Sat? You are defining something. Then it is not Brahman. Brahman is Chit. Chit means what? Consciousness. Consciousness is, you are talking through your brain, buddhi. So it is also an object. It is not. It is not that. You cannot say. Even we cannot express our experience of, suppose you got a good ice cream. You had. And then I ask, what is the ice cream like? What is your experience? What will you say?
Tasty.
Huh?
Tasty.
Taste is good, very good, wonderful, very tasteful. But what do I understand by that word? You are saying so, what I understand by that. You have understood, you feel, you can recollect your own experience. So that is the point. No one can tell that, no one can express that. When you express, you are much down from that level of state, higher state, samadhi state. So chitta suddhi, another question. How? How to know the self? A Brahman. Know the self. It is not knowing. Better it be. That's why Swamiji gave another explanation. Being and becoming. Being and becoming. You go on being and they become. You become Brahman. When you become Brahman, you need not have to say what is Brahman. But if we fools ask you, hey, you have experience, could you tell me something? They come down from that level and say something, some language. Whatever language, it is a limitation. So that Brahman really cannot be expressed. If it is expressed, it is not Brahman. It is not Atman. Expression means limitation. You are saying in one way it is infinite, it is time, beyond time, space, causation, and you are asking the question in time, space, and causation, and he is responding you to in the time, space, causation. How can you match these two things? This question does not come. Therefore, you forget your ego identity and merge into him, and that is the goal of life. And there you die. What is the meaning of knowing? Is dying. This little I should die. This mind should die. There will only that remain. Okay? And Chitta Suddhi, how do you attain? As we have talked about Chitta Suddhi by the four process, Jnana, Karma, Yoga, and Bhakti. Four paths to follow in every day so that 24 hours of our life becomes spiritual. When I am meditating, I am thinking of him. I am coming out of that, doing what? I am serving him. When I am praying to him, I am connected with him. And Jnana, and analyzing day and night whenever in the mood, what is unreal, real, that is I am connecting with. So these are the four processes to keep the mind always engaged in analyzing the objects of the universe and falling in love with God. Okay, thank you. Can staying in that nothingness or absence of objects take us to Samadhi, or Samadhi is God's grace? You know, can staying in that nothingness. What is nothingness? Ultimately, we are saying nothing. Nothing, you have to understand what you are putting the question. Nothing means what? No thing. A state of purification comes, you analyze, and you know there is no thing. All things are gone. That is nothing. Then is the void. Who says that void? Then all the Samadhi people are in void. Their face beams with joy. They radiate joy. Even you go and when they are in Samadhi, if you have any opportunity to find in life such a person and sit before them, you did not have to do meditation. That will lift you in meditation. So that is the point, that in Samadhi, absence of objects are there, takes us to Samadhi means because there is nothing else but truth. There is nothing but Satchidananda Brahman. When the name and form is gone, what will remain? When the name and form of the waves, ripples, bubbles, everything gone, what will remain? H2O will remain. Water will remain. What? Water in the form of ocean. Water in the form of the waves and ripples. When the water, ripples and waves will subside, then what will remain? Only water will remain. So all these waves have the name and form. This world we see. When it will dissolve, what will remain? That. What remains, that remains. Who will say what? To say that, you have to come back again and tell us. And then you have to use the vocabulary of our worldly language. Otherwise, I will not understand. Okay, so let us pray for good meditation. What the question of samadhi now? But we should not be frustrated, but we should struggle more. Practice. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.
কত নম্বর করলাম?
Where did he